In today's video, I wanted to make a video talking about my 5 tips on being more productive and what I personally like to do, and yeah. So let's just jump straight into the video. I really just wanted to make this video because I really like sharing about productivity and how to be more efficient in your everyday life. Let's just jump into the first point. So I would say a book everybody should read despite who they are is Atomic Habits. I keep mentioning the book, it's absolutely fantastic. And a really important thing about productivity is creating really good habits. Because when you have all of these good habits in your life, it's just gonna automatically make you a more productive person. Because when you have these good habits, for example, like going to the gym, or you stick to doing a little bit of studying each day on whatever that is. Like for example, I'm always working on my YouTube channel, and that's not filming a video every single day. That is simply making an outline for a video, getting a random video idea and making it into a little outline. It can be anything. It could literally be watching a YouTube video and getting inspired from that video and that content. And my next tip is following a studying method. If you're like me and you have a really hard time focusing, I would highly suggest putting on study techniques like the Pomodoro method. There's a million different versions of it. I saw a video of a guy who did once where he took a longer break to watch an episode of anime, and he made a really cool video about it. And to be honest, if I just set a timer for 25 minutes, I'm not gonna do it. So just either get a YouTube video that does it for you or watch someone do it in real time. It really helps a lot. And doing it yourself, because it's also nice because you feel like you're studying with someone. This can obviously apply to anything. The pilot and the plane method, and also the engineering, but I'll get to that in a second. This technique basically follows that you're in plane mode for most of the time, and then you're in pilot mode a little bit of the time, and then like a small percentage in the engineering. And the plane mode, you're basically on autopilot. You're basically just following the pilot's instructions. You're making sure you're going the right direction, and you also land safely and take off safely. And then the pilot's job is to give those instructions to the plane and make sure the plane is going in the right direction. And then the engineering is basically making it as efficient as possible, like the most fuel efficient. And the whole idea of this is basically you need to be on autopilot the most of the time. We want to use as little brain power as humanly possible to save. And the whole goal is to be in plane mode 80% of the time, and then in pilot mode about 5 to 10%, maybe even 15% depending. So a good example of when you're in pilot mode is, for example, when you wake up and you make a to-do list for the day. You're in pilot mode, you're planning your day, you're structuring it exactly how you would do on a plane. Like you make sure there's enough fuel in the plane, make sure everything is correct before you take off. Of course, you can't do that mid-air. Exactly, like you can't just start working without a plane. And then you just simply go into plane mode. You're just on autopilot and you're just doing it. And for the engineering mode, you should be in about 5 to 10%. Usually around the 5% mark is pretty good. You're just making sure everything is super organized. And you should be in this least amount of times. It could be organizing your notes and making your workflow as easy as possible, like planning out your day, etc. The thing I also think is really important when it comes to making yourself more productive is taking all of these smaller things in your life and making them automatic as possible. For example, YouTube has a really great feature where you can schedule a post. So instead of you having to film a video every single week, you can film a bunch of videos in one sitting, and then you can edit them and you can have them ready to post. That's, for example, a really great thing. I always think batch editing is this super amazing thing. Use your strengths to your advantages. If you're a morning person, you should use that time to be the most productive in the morning. Don't sit there and be like, oh my god, I should be a night person and I should be doing all my work at night, when you'd much rather just be chilling and enjoying your night and going to bed early if that's what you want to do. But if you're a night owl, you should not force yourself to wake up early. Following the 80-20 rule. I think you've seen this mentioned with food, like you eat healthy 80% of the time and then you eat bad 20% of the time, which, by the way, there's no such thing called bad food. But basically, this rule means that the 20% of work you actually put into your work should give you 80% of the effort. Like, you're putting in less effort to be more efficient. For example, break your next project into a bunch of tasks and then eliminate all the useless ones. Basically, eliminate the things that don't matter for your project. Now, I know this title said 5 tips, but I'm gonna include the last one. Motivation doesn't stick. Let's say you're scrolling through TikTok at 2 in the morning and you're like, you know what, I should wake up really early and go on a 10-kilometer run, I should cure cancer, and I should do all of these amazing things now. That's great and all, but that's called motivation. And when that alarms go off, you're not gonna do it. Now, of course, that's a pretty harsh example, but you move with this burst of energy. And motivation is really just like the start of something. Like, if you want to lose weight or you just want to exercise more, you're very motivated in the start. You're gonna stick to it for maybe like a couple of days and then you're gonna stop because you don't have discipline and you start out too aggressively. I know in Atomic Habits, he mentions in his book that it's better to start out small. So again, with the gym, if you just show up every single day to the gym, you don't even work out, you are there for 10 minutes max and then you leave again. Then you keep adding and adding and adding and then you start working out and it becomes a normal part of your everyday routine. You go to the gym. You're making a habit and you're building discipline and it's just gonna build and build and build over time. But something I feel like is super important to follow is the 2-day rule. I'm gonna again take the gym example. Let's say you didn't work out yesterday. You're gonna have to work out this day. You don't want to slip up 2 days in a row because this is where your discipline starts to lagging. So yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. And if you did like it, please go like the video, and if you subscribe, please leave a comment saying you subscribe, and I'll see you all guys in my next video. Bye!